welcome to Real Estate on Track with Alka and Sanjeev Aneja, the brother-sister duo on ITV Gold every Friday at 8 p.m. or catch the repeat on Sunday at 8 p.m. Trust the expertise of On Track Realty since 1994, and you can also contact them at 732-494-2211. And our seasoned guests are Sanjeev Aneja, lead broker and owner of On Track Realty, experienced and distinguished with past roles like President of Middlesex County Association of Realtors, New Jersey Realtor of the Year, and New Jersey Real Estate Commissioner. Joining him is Alka Aneja, an award-winning salesperson with 30-plus years experience, and she's also the president of Humbled by Your Service charity and is also known for Soul Talks with Alka, which runs on YouTube. Once again, welcome, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
So, last time we were talking about investments, and I definitely want to continue with that topic today. So my first question to you, Alka, is, how do you know it's the right home?
So it depends what the home is for, right? If it's your primary residence, their criteria is different. If it's for investment, the criteria is different. If it's for investment, all you care about, like Bhaiya spoke last week, is numbers. Is there a return on investment? If you're putting down 20% down or 25% down, which is what you will need for investment property, is the return making sense? It is not an emotional purchase. It's completely a logical purchase. It is what is the right way. Now, if you're buying a primary home, logic goes down the tubes and it's totally emotional. When you walk in, how do you feel? Sometimes you'll say, you know what, I want a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, full basement, 2-car garage, and you'll end up buying a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, no basement, 1-car garage home, right? Because the home just felt right. It has nothing to do with what your criteria was. It is when you walked in. So just know that you're not going to find a perfect home. If you can walk in and internally say to yourself, how much do I like the home on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And if you find an 8, which is not perfect, then that's the home for you. Remember, we are not perfect.
Right.
So the home is not going to be perfect. If we're looking for a perfect home, we're going to be looking for a long, long time. So find the home within your parameters that is actually the right home for you. Sometimes you'll walk in. I had a client who just saw 2 homes on the market and bought one. And some clients look for 50 homes and don't find one. But the problem is, what happens is when you look at a lot of homes, is the homes that you gave up in the beginning, now later on, you're searching for that home because you're like, if I gave that up, now I'm buying this. It's like looking for a guy or a girl, right? You look at 50 guys or 50 girls, and then all of a sudden, you're like, God, I let this one go, and now I'm looking at this one. So you have to know, don't keep out in search of another. Once you find someone, once you're engaged, stop looking. It's over. You have to finish your search and kind of end it. There's a huge parallel in both life decisions, in marriage and in home buying process.
Very, very well said. A lot of good things in there. So you will feel right when you get inside the home, like Alka said. If you don't feel good in it, it's not your home. It may meet all the criteria of 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, everything.
Yep.
But it's not the right home. It just doesn't feel right. You feel right, it may not even meet all the criteria. You can change that criteria. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah. Things you cannot change are location. You cannot change a busy road. You cannot change under high tension wires. What you can change are kitchens and baths. So don't look at yellow carpeting or blue carpeting and say, I don't want this house. That stuff can be changed. But if it's on a busy road, it just can't be changed. That's where the home is. If it's a south-facing home and you want an east-facing home, you won't be able to do it unless there is a way you can make the door or whatever. There is an answer to all of that within what you can do in architecture. But as far as roads, locations are concerned, in real estate, the 3 words are location.
I don't know.
Location and location.
Good. Very well trained, Alka. So, yes, some things you can change, some things you don't need to change, and some things are changeable, and some things are not changeable.
Yes.
So you decide, and nothing is right or wrong. It is right for you or wrong for you. and we are there to guide you, obviously. Going back to investments, investments are not emotional unless you're going to be doing your own business in there.
Right.
So if you're going to be owner occupied,
Yes.
it's an investment and it is being used by you. So it doesn't have emotions like home because you have to look at practicality, but it has emotional value for you because you are going to be working out of it. So you want to feel that place also.
When you're buying some place where you're going to work, you're practically more at your work than you are at home most of the time. So that becomes more of your house. If you're not happy to go to work where you are, like that's so important. I think if you're going to be using a primary commercial space, you have to make sure that you love it because a lot of your life is going to be spent there, for sure.
Perfect. And there is no better tenant than you. There's no better landlord than you. If you're going to be running your own show, if you can buy, if you can afford to buy, and if you know it's long term, buying is always better than renting. Remember, you're building your own investment. You're building an asset for life. That asset will grow in time. Even if it doesn't grow in value, all the rent that you would have paid, at some point the mortgage will stop. And now it's rent free for you. So just remember that completely. Be the best. You are the best landlord. You are the best tenant. Buy your property that you're going to use for yourself instead of renting all the time. Now, landlords love the fact that not all tenants will buy. Because if everybody bought, there would be no landlord.
Right.
So landlords love the fact that people are not buying. But if you're listening to us, if you can afford to buy, if instead of 2,000 square feet, you're getting 1,500 square feet, that is a good compromise in your budget instead of waiting forever to find the 2,000 square feet and another 4 years going by.
And that's what we say even in primary residence, right? That if you're in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath rental, don't look for a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath home, and don't ever buy that home for yourself. Buy something that's intermittent in the middle.
But there's a difference. If you can afford, if you need that 4-bedroom and you can afford it, what Alka is saying is, you cannot afford it. It's not there available to you, and then you're saying, "But I won't buy it." You're going from a 1-bedroom apartment. Buy a 2-bedroom condo. Don't wait for 4-bedroom because you cannot afford it or it's not in your budget at this point.
Yeah.
Be the best landlord. Instead of being in an apartment, build your equity in your home. Many people will say buying a home is not a good investment. There are people out, financial people, who will say it's not. This guy, this author, you know what old age does this to us? Stop forgetting. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. He says buying your home is not a good investment. I totally disagree. Buying your home is the best investment you can ever make. There are people who bought a home 40 years ago. $40,000 home today is $800,000. Plus you lived in it 40 years. You raised your family for 40 years in it. You don't have any rent going on for last 20 years in it. How do you go wrong with it? You just cannot go wrong with it. So anybody who tells you buying your home is a bad investment is probably a very good landlord and hoping for you to be a tenant for them for life. Don't do it.
Yeah, and there's a psychological effect of owning your own home, right? When you own your own home, how you feel, what you can do landscaping wise, whatever, when you're going to take care of your own home, it's like the pleasure that you get, you don't get the same pleasure. And you see it clearly, like
and the pain also of fixing this and fixing that. But that's part of life.
Yes.
You have a human body. It hurts one day here and there. You don't say, I don't want a human body. It gives you the joy. It gives you some hurt also. And it's totally just like that. It needs maintenance.
So now let's talk about the market conditions and interest rates. So let's talk how right now, how would you describe the current state of the local real estate market?
So it depends on who's listening where. Real estate is local. Each segment of market could be different. So we don't know where the listeners are. We are in Edison, New Jersey. We can tell you for sure this is still a crazy hot market. Homes are short in inventory. There's less inventory, more buyers. That creates more demand, less supply. That means the market is higher in prices day after day. That doesn't mean every home is high price, will go high. Because if the seller goes too high on the market, the home will not sell with multiple offers and they will lose money, they'll leave money on the table. As far as interest rates are concerned, Alka,
The interest rates right now are anywhere between 6 for 30-year fixed, 6.625 to 7, depending on where you go, your credit, how
And
much
they
you're putting
change-
down,
and they change day to
and they
day.
change.
Yeah,
Today's
yeah.
rates, that's what they are. But they are higher than they were at 2.5%, 3%, but it's still better than renting. So your rents have significantly increased. People who are renewing their leases are seeing 25% jump on their rent. So instead of continuing on to be a landlord or paying to your landlord, it's really right now is
Right.
still the time to
you know
buy.
what, it's all in perspective. A lot of time we look at 7% interest rate and we say, oh my God, I missed 3. But if you had bought your home in 1980s, early 1980s, interest rates were 18%, 18%. When we bought our first home in 1985, our interest rate was 10 and 7/8 with 3 points, which is equal to about 12.5% interest rate. So at that point, if I would have gotten 7%, we would have been jumping up and down.
Yeah.
So it's all in perspective. Homes were selling then, homes are selling today. Rates will go up and rates will go down. You can always refinance if the rates go down, but if the rates go up, you've locked at 7. So again, like we talked last time or in one of the segments, never overextend. Always make sure you have that extra money for
Sitting
those rainy days.
Absolutely.
And we talk about 6 to 9 months, maybe even 12 months. You lose the job, health happens, something goes wrong. Make sure you have enough money. Don't buy such a big home, like Alka said, that you are cash poor. And now things go wrong and now you cannot pay your
So
mortgage.
are there any like specific properties which are in demand right now, or it's like people want luxury homes or people want,
No, it depends on where you're
200,000, 300,000. So it depends on what you are
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
for.
it is one's budget. It all depends upon. So everything is in demand, but always the highest end slows down first because less people can afford it.
Yeah.
But luxury market is doing well right now. There is money out there. There are people who are coming in big homes with all cash. So till the cash is there, luxury market is not going anyplace.
So is there like an average number of days like property is going to stay in the market or something like that?
So average in our area has been 60 days, 70 days. However, the truth is many homes are not lasting more than 7 days. So average is made of high-priced homes, wrong location homes versus great price homes selling in 3 days. So, but I think good number right now is about 25 to 30 days if we really start talking about most homes that are priced right.
I remember long back, like there would be like multiple offers.
Oh,
Or
yes.
is it still?
Oh,
Yes,
yes, absolutely. Today, even there are homes at times, they have 25, 30, 35 offers. In fact, not too long ago, I don't remember which town it was in, they had over 100 offers in first 7 days. 100 offers.
Wow.
Over.
Wow.
So, so it depends upon how you price it. If you price a $400,000 home at $350,000, you're going to get 7,500 offers because you created perceived value in it, and you will still get over 400 because then the buyers are going to outbid it.
Yeah.
So I was just, thinking like with the increase in like property values and higher taxes and everything else. So do you think like for the first time home buyers, is it impacting them?
It depends, right? It depends on how much cushion they have. We see a lot of first-time home buyers going in from a rental and going into an $800,000 home, so it's not clearly impacting them. It depends on what range they're putting in, how much down payment they are, and how long they've saved to get into that home ownership.
Right. See, cash, the money that you have saved is what drives the first-time buyer. So if they have all the money, interest rate doesn't mean anything to them.
Yeah.
If you're making good money, nothing matters. If you're not making enough money, nothing matters either. You just couldn't save it anymore. So supply, demand, affordability, there's so many things that go in any purchase that is high-end purchase, like a luxury car, a home that we're talking about. So many things that go on. It's so tailor-fitted. Like every shirt that when you go to a tailor, it's tailor-fitted for that person. The real estate market is tailor-fitted for you also. So again, the best advice we can give, do not overextend yourself. Buy a little smaller. Do not buy, but buy a little smaller and make sure you have the money for rainy days. I don't think there's a better advice than that at all.
100%. I agree 100%. And don't take that advice lightly, because when times change, it's really very, very stressful. Money is
And we
the
hope
most
it never
leaders-
changes for
yes.
you, and we hope that rainy day is never necessary. But
you
we
never know.
all know those days do come.
Yes.
What goes up comes down in life,
Must come down.
and vice versa.
Yep, absolutely.
So don't be don't despair if things go down or wrong, and don't be so overjoyed when they're up, thinking
Yeah.
it won't come down, because it will also.
So there's a saying that Lakshmi ji is very chagchal. She never stays in one place, right? So just know that when it comes, it can go down very. It's the question of chanchality.
Chanchality is another word.
It's a new word.
It's a new word.
Yes. So now let's talk about this book, which is For It to Be, It's Up to Me. And you know, I think this is my favorite part of the show, where I get to learn a lot. So Sanjeevji, today let's talk about lesson number that is 6, improve your skills constantly. And why is there a need to improve our skills constantly?
So Pia, yes, I know you love this part, but what about all the other things that we've said so far? You don't.
Oh yeah, she's joking.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, Pia's joking. So what was the top? What was the chapter again? I'm so sorry.
The chapter is
constantly
improve
improving
your
yourself,
skills
right?
constantly.
So it says if we're not growing, we are dying. If you look at the plants, if they're not growing, they are dying. Nature is like that. एक time pe we get to some stage, and then we slowly start going there. So your body keeps on running, it keeps you in shape. The minute you stop running, the body starts dying. It's true in anything. So improving yourself constantly. Let's say you studied XYZ, and the world now has become XYZ plus.
Right.
Technology, let's call up technology. Just what we learned 30 years ago is not applicable anymore. I read about resistors and transistors and capacitors when I was doing my engineering. If I just sat on that, it would mean nothing anymore today. So you go to the chips, you talk about this, and then you're at NVIDIA and AMD, and these people have taken it so far. You have to be part of that technology. So constantly learning means you are growing by learning what is applicable today, because what was applicable yesterday is not applicable today. If we want to be part of the growth in wherever we are, which field, we must be learning every day, whether it's real estate, if that's our field, whether it's technology, if that's our field, or any field whatsoever at all. So constantly be growing, reading books. YouTube in last 10 years has made a huge difference. No matter what you want to hear, you want to talk about spirituality, YouTube is full of bhajans in there.
Right.
You want to talk about motivation, YouTube is full of it in there. You want to talk about health, what is there? YouTube. How much is the cost? Zero. Only thing is you have to be careful what you're about to hear. What you're hearing, is it applicable to you, and should you be hearing? Because YouTube is your friend, but YouTube is your enemy too. It has so much wrong stuff in there too. So be careful and selective in growing yourself, and constantly learn for your own sake. At certain stage of life, we are learning different things.
But you also have to know that no matter what field you're in, your consumer also knows a lot more than you. So for you as a professional helping your consumer, you have to keep kind of the way he says, sharpen your axe all the time, because they know. So for us to know, give them information, we have to know slightly a little bit more than them, because that's the only way we'll be able to serve the consumer. And the consumers are in their own field, so they have to learn in their field. But it goes for every field.
Alka actually used a very good phrase. It's called sharpen your axe. it reminds me of a story. This guy was cutting a tree, and he was struggling and he was struggling and he was cutting the tree and sweating and all that. A wise man was looking at him. He says, "Why don't you stop for a few minutes and sharpen the saw?" And he says, "I don't have time for it." See, sharpening the saw is cost improving your skill. That's this person, wise man, knew what should be done. This person is saying, "I don't have time to improve my skill." In this case, saw is the tool, right?
Right.
So you have to have those proper tools to take care of it. Had he sharpened the saw, the tree would have been cut way long before that. So stop, learn, and then apply. See, again, learning is also horrible if you don't apply.
right.
So application is critical also. Going to all these seminars and then coming and doing nothing, what a wastage of time. So listen to good stuff on YouTube, but then stop and apply. Because without application, all the learning is useless.
Absolutely.
So basically, you are saying like being good is not good enough these days.
Being good is
Not good
not
enough.
just good enough, because good of yesterday is not as good today anymore. So good today may be good, but if that good you think will be good all the time, it's not going to be good at all. You have to become better and better to become good for tomorrow.
So I just want one tip from both of you, how to be that exceptional student every day.
It's an internal commitment. There is no tip to it. There's an internal commitment. At our office, we have this thing called CANDI, CANDI, constant and never-ending daily improvement, daily. The problem is we'll eat apple a day, but then for 3 days, we won't eat an apple. And then we'll say one apple, and then for 7 days, we won't. Daily, it says apple a day. It didn't say apple a week.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So you have to do what's right daily. You promise to walk every day. You take your steps daily. Because if you don't do it in a week, you'll forget that habit and then you won't do it. So whatever you commit to, do it daily, and that will help a lot. Now, it's not easy. You may commit a million things and you cannot do all the things. So commit to focus on things that are important to you, not somebody else, to you, and then take care of them. If the health is bad, take care of the health issues. If spirituality is bad, take care of spirituality issues. If relationships are bad, then take care of relationship issues. That's all it is.
And life
But
is a
every day,
balance.
every day.
Yeah.
You know, I know you have talked in this book about people skills. You might be best in your field, but if you don't have people skills, you're no good.
Yes.
So I know a lot of people who are best in their field, but yes, they don't have those people skills. They cannot converse or communicate with people properly. And so what would you like to say about that?
Improve people's skills. I remember vividly one of our engineers in the company I used to work for. He was so smart, but his people skills were so horrible, he was fired. See, when you cannot get along with anybody, when you're horrible, when you are just a jerk all the time, it doesn't matter what you know. And it doesn't matter how successful you are for the company. The company says goodbye because you're being a jerk to everybody. People's skills are looking at yourself every day and saying, am I being polite? I'm being jerk. Is everybody disliking me? And why is everybody disliking me? Am I rude to everybody or am I polite to everybody? That's daily looking at yourself.
Yeah. And people will work with people they like and trust. So that's just inherent, right? That if somebody likes you and if you're a likable person, you're just going to get more work done. They say you get something more done with sweet,
honey.
yeah,
you
with
get
honey
more
than
honey.
with vinegar. So you have to know that your nonverbal behavior, verbal behavior, all of that matters. And if you just figure out your skill sets and say, if this is not getting me to where I want to go, if I want a job promotion, and I know what I can do, then what is my personality skills that I need to change? Because personality will a lot of times override what knowledge you know. Because people do not care what you know unless they know that you care.
Very good.
I've taught really well.
Good. Nice.
So, Alka, can you just update us on the featured home listings for this?
So we just listed today 113 Calvert Avenue East in Edison. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Finished basement, 1-car garage. It's in North Edison. It's listed for $595. Pictures will be in tomorrow, but the showings have already begun. Again, it's a great home for less than $600,000. It's commutable to Metro Park, to elementary schools, to Menlo Park Mall. It's a great listing.
Yeah, for North Edison, under 600,000, you don't find anything today.
Yeah.
So it's available. Call us, call your realtor, start seeing it, and then
Absolutely.
be ready to make your offer if you love it.
Absolutely.
And as usual, it's time for us to say goodbye. We definitely will be again here next week, same time. Thank you so much, Sanjeev ji, and thank you so much, Alka.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Pia, and to all our listeners, happy Janmashtami.
Yes.
Next week is Janmashtami. I believe it's on 6th and 7th. They celebrate on 2 days. So happy Janmashtami. Jai Shri Krishna. Bye.
Happy Janmashtami, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.